If you've learned the pentatonic scale, but your solos still sound like you're guessing, this lesson is for you. Most players start with the scale and hope they land on the right notes, but the pros do the opposite. They start with the chords, break them into simple triads, and then sprinkle the pentatonic on top. Once you understand this, soloing finally makes sense. Today I'm going to walk you through a simple 5-step process you can use for any song, any key, any style, forever. This is the system I wish someone had explained to me as a beginner, and it will make your solos feel more confident, more musical, and way less random. So let's get into it. Step 1, we're going to listen to the chords. We're going to listen to whatever chords that we're playing the solo over. So if you're just playing over a backing track, it's whatever those chords are, or if you're playing a solo or learning a solo from a song, then you want to find the chords that are actually in the solo section. So whatever you're playing over, you want to really listen to those chords and get an understanding of not only the chords, but the chord progression and the whole feel of that chord progression. So for today's lesson, we're going to use a backing track that's in the key of A minor. And before we play any scales or anything at all, we're going to listen to that chord progression all the way through at least one time. This is the step that most beginners skip, and that's why solos sound disconnected. All right, here we go. Slow blues backing track, that's starting with your A minor chord. Now there's your D minor chord. And then back to your A minor chord. Here's your E minor chord, down to your D minor chord, back to your A minor chord, and here's the E7 turnaround chord. Then we're back to our A minor. So step 2 is just starting with your full bar chords. So for the A minor, there's your full bar chord right there that we would use. For D minor, there's your full bar chord. For E minor, there's your full bar chord, A minor, and then your E7 turnaround. So these are the chords we're going to be soloing over. And once again, the chords are the foundation. If you don't know what the chords sound like, then it's going to be really hard to use your ear to know that you're hitting those chord tones or the correct notes for the chords in the chord progression. So step 3, we're going to break each one of these chords into some simple triads. So let's start with our A minor. Once again, there's our full bar chord. So we're just going to take pieces of that, starting with that A note right there. So there's your A right there, and then there's your A. We're going to start with this A. We're going to play these 3 notes. So the triads we're going to be using are going to be minor, and what that means is for a triad, it needs the 1, the 3, and the 5. And so for minor chords and triads, it's going to be a 1, flat 3, 5, or a 1 minor third 5. So we're starting with the 1 right here on the A, and then we're going to the flat 3 right there, and there's your 5. And so we can play this triad right here. So we can use that triad, or we can use starting from this note, which is your 3, and we just play these 3. And now this is your 3, your 5, and then your 1, or your minor third, 5, and 1. So for the A minor, we got that triad or that arpeggio, and those 3 notes would be another triad or arpeggio. So now for the D minor, here's our full chord. It's going to be very similar. Here's our D note right there. We can start with that D note right there and just play the 1, minor third, 5 once again. Or we could start right here on the actual 5 and just say 5, 1, minor third. E minor. Same exact thing, just up 2 frets. So you've either got this triad or this triad. And then when we go to our E7 turnaround, that's the only one that's not a minor chord. It's just a E dominant 7th. So these 3-note shapes are the actual target notes, and this is what the pros look at. They visualize these chord tones and these triads first, and then they can start looking at, scales and the boxes to play in and that type of thing. Step 4, we're going to play these triads over the backing track, just playing the triad notes each time. Once again, we're just going to listen to the chord progression one time through. Don't play anything yet. And don't worry about speed. Just land on the chord tones. And again, we're just going to play the arpeggio notes. It doesn't really matter what order we're playing the notes in, but just so we're hitting those target notes of each chord. So let's try it. Here we go. A minor. So here's a cool analogy that I heard that really stuck with me. This was Alec on Soulful Guitar Lessons. He said the triads are like the cake, and then the pentatonic notes are just the sprinkles and the decoration on the cake. Okay, so now is when we start to take it to another level. Now we're going to add the decoration and the sprinkles on the cake, if you will. So we're going to just basically play a little bit of the pentatonic notes with the triads and just go through the whole chord progression like that. So it is really important to note that the A minor pentatonic scale is going to be our home base. So this scale is our home base. I'm going to add the blues note, so I'll add this note here from time to time. So and there's another blues note right there. So there's your full A minor pentatonic blues scale right there. And the other thing to note is when you go to that D minor chord, there's a note that's in that triad right there, a chord tone, that is not in the A minor pentatonic blues scale. When you go to the E minor, this note right here is not in the A minor pentatonic blues scale. So that's where you got to think about those chords, and that's why those chord tones are so important to really get in your ear and make sure you're clear on how everything sounds, so you'll know, and you'll just be able to kind of add those notes as you go along. All right, here we go. So let's bring it home. Start out with just your simple triads. Start adding a little decoration. So let's recap. Stop starting with the scale and start with the chords. Break them into triads, then decorate with pentatonic notes. This is the lesson I wish someone had explained to me years ago. Now that you understand how triads guide your solos, the pentatonic shapes finally make sense. There is a link to the backing track that we used in this video. I'll leave that in the description. Take some time practicing using what we went over today, but understand there are other pentatonic positions that all connect to get you applying the same process all up and down the fretboard. If you want to learn all 5 pentatonic positions the right way and how to connect them so they stop feeling like 5 separate boxes, click the video on your screen or the one I'll link below, and I'll see you there.